You know what? It's February, the month of love. I already reviewed Operation Future. Let's turn this into a theme. And let's do so without getting myself into hot water. Then again, people tend to get pissed at me no matter what I do, so I guess YOLO. Okay, even I felt stupid saying that. Anyway, Teen Titans Go! Remember that show? The stupid excuse for comedy that's essentially Johnny Test playing superheroes. Well, they did the exact plot that I was talking about last week. And they did it bad. They did it in the worst way possible, the worst way that I've ever seen. The episode we're looking at today is called Boys vs. Girls. Gonna be fun! It's the most stupid episode of the show that I've seen yet. But since it's getting a third season, it's got plenty of time to top it. This episode starts off with stereotypes. Lots and lots of stereotypes. Beast Boy, Cyborg, and Robin are loudly and rudely eating pizza, making a mess, and talking about sports.
You guys see that sporting event last night?
You know I did!
Okay, never mind the fact that not all guys enjoy sports or do any of this shit. Is it really that hard to make up an event, or a team, or at least correct your wording? Did you catch the game last night? How hard is that?
Hey, what about that race car we saw yesterday, huh? It was all like...
A conversation with absolutely no prompting. Guys, this is just sloppy. It takes more than one draft to write an episode. Then there's burping! And a really, really bad rap. That's literally one word repeated over and over again. Kinda reminds me of something.
Waffles, 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 waffles.
I shouldn't even have to talk about the Toddler Titans songs. They're all bad. Every single one of them. Minimal lyrics with lazy instrumentation that have nothing to do with the plot. That sums up every single one of them. Starfire and Raven are understandably annoyed.
What's her problem?
I'll tell you her problem. She's a her. You know, a girl.
I don't think that's the problem. I'm a guy and I'm annoyed by you too.
She wishes she could be a boy. But she can't.
Well, that could certainly be offensive to someone. Think through your implications and choose your words carefully. Oh yeah, kids won't get that unless, you know, they are trans. There'll be a time later when I know how to choose my words better and become more knowledgeable on the subject. But that's a different review. That's not even the real problem of the episode here. I'm getting sidetracked.
Boys are better than girls!
How old are you, really?
One say one gender is superior to the other.
Because they're straw men, the characters used by bad or mediocre shows to be purposely in the wrong because they don't know how to teach morals. Robin shouts a bunch of sexist bullshit and they get into an argument. That is, until Robin pulls his trump card.
I'm going to sum it up in just one word. Cooties!
What the fuck? Seriously, how old are you? No, really. Cooties. For the love of God. Teen is in the name of your show. I think that you'd goddamn act like them. I mean, let's forget about cooties for a minute, because sexism in and of itself is juvenile and stupid. Especially sexism like this. This is what little kids do. And like in most instances of this plot, the boys get challenged to a war of the sexes. Let me guess, the girls win. Of course they do, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with the obvious issue here. The teams are uneven. 3 boys versus 2 girls. I mean, it's not gonna matter in the end, but at least try to pull out the illusion of not being biased. The first contest is of speed. Question, has Starfire ever been notably fast? Like, has speed ever been her thing? I mean, not just in the original Teen Titans show, I mean in the comics or any incarnation, really.
First one to solve this complex math equation wins!
Robin believes in fucking cooties. No shit, Raven wins this one. Round 3 is a tug of war, and the girls win because of course they do. Let me guess, the guys learn not to be sexist because blah blah blah. Just watch my Operation Future review to learn why this doesn't work. I mean, it's so full of stupid subtext that no one even thinks about.
Dude, you lied to us! Girls are better than boys!
Yeah!
What? Boys
Boys are terrible. From now on, we're girls.
Okay, first of all, I don't think that it works like that. And second of all, what? Normally the subtext in this kind of episode exists because the writers didn't think through their implications. In this episode, the writers did think through their implications and decided it was a good idea to run with them. Need I remind you that this plotline is built on the moral that it tries to teach, and the implications are always the biggest fatal flaw with them. The episode is supposed to be about characters learning a lesson. You can't just detach it from anything and say it's just being stupid for the sake of being stupid like everything else in the show. Then again, the episode's not over yet. Let's see where they take this. Robin is pissed that Beast Boy and Cyborg abandoned him, so he decides to break into a government laboratory and find cooties. 1 second. Because yeah, that's what the government is interested in. Creating a disease to sow animosity between the sexes. And Robin gives cooties to both Starfire and Raven, who are supposed to be his friends, by the way. The next morning, we have a reprise of that stupid song for equality's sake, until Starfire and Raven realize that they're all itchy. And then they get spots.
It's true! Girls have cooties!
We want to be boys again.
How old are you? Robin has the cure, a cootie catcher, that he'll only use if they admit that boys are better than girls. The girls decide that all they have to do is touch Robin and he'll get cooties too. How they know this despite the fact that at first they thought that the cooties weren't real, and also the fact that they're a secret government experiment, I'll never know.
Ah, cooties! But Starfire touching me. Cooties! Or the start of a beautiful relationship.
Okay, time to ask a very serious question. How old are you? These two phrases do not go together. They should not be said back to back by the same character. They should not be said by the same character, period. One is said at an early portion of life, i.e. they're a child. The other one is said when that person has reached maturity, physical maturity. Yeah, I know that this Robin is different than previous incarnations, but this incarnation needs consistency among itself. Pick one attitude and stick with it entirely.
Think we lost him?
Impossible. We have more of the endurance.
We're smarter, too.
And we are the stronger.
For what it's worth, according to the credits, every single person who worked on this episode was a man, from the director to the producer to the writer. Either they're being serious with these messages and should really talk to someone because they're trying way too hard to impress people. Or they're saying this to be ironic, in which case, that's still a problem. Either they think this thoroughly or they don't think this at all, and they're just spouting off nonsense to say shitty nonsense. When they give the boys cooties, Robin uses his cootie catcher. No comment.
Let's face it, guys, the girls are better than us. They're stronger, faster, smarter. They're our superiors in every way. We shouldn't let a day go by without thanking them for even noticing that we're alive. On behalf of all boys, I want to apologize for our actions.
Last week I made a video, writing tips, never assume that it's funny. In it, I said that you should keep morals far, far away from your jokes. Because, if you haven't guessed by now, this has been a satire, and I'm judging it as such. I'm fairly sure that they're attempting to satirize this plotline. But here's the thing, there's no sign that it's being tongue-in-cheek about this. At no point is it saying here, this is what we're trying to do, don't take anything we do seriously. These writers worked on Mad, and this kind of stuff could work there because there's that kind of acknowledgement built in. It's a sketch show. They can tell jokes that are totally detached from any kind of story. In an episodic show like this one, you can't get away with doing that. If you could tell from my previous reviews, I'm not a fan of satirized morals to begin with, but it's particularly bad here. I'm gonna say it, this is a worse satire of a moral than Stuck in the Ringer from SpongeBob.
I guess crying does solve your problems after all.
In that episode, at least, the voice acting hinted that they weren't taking the shit they were spouting seriously. It doesn't work there either because the satirized moral is actually how the plot was solved, and it could come across as earnestly. Here, the characters went through an arc to learn this intentionally stupid moral, and seemed to believe it. And there was no sign that this moral was wrong. And when you have a satirized moral that isn't funny, it comes across as serious. Yes, I know that it's stupid. You know that it's stupid. One sex is not better than the other. But here's the thing, this show is aimed at children. Will children take this moral seriously? Possibly, but I can think of several circumstances where this may very well screw them up. A sense of sarcasm is something that you develop as you grow up, and sometimes even adults don't have a good one. I mean, you just know that some paranoid fuck on the back alleys of 4chan or Tumblr is using this episode as proof to reinforce their delusions about the world around them.